Today we will do the sixth stanza of Ode to a Nightingale. In the fifth stanza, we saw how Keats, in the midst of so much of pain and suffering, was enjoying the beauty of nature through the eyes of imagination. And we also saw how he had a premonition of his impending death. Now, in the sixth stanza, I quote the first line: Darkling, I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with easeful death. So, the atmosphere is dark, and in this darkness, he tries to listen. Listen to what? To the song of the nightingale. And he remembers how, on the many occasions in his life, he had wished for death. That would bring what? A release from the burdens of existence. Darkling, I listened for many a time. Many a time means there have been many occasions in his life, many times in his life when he has been half in love with death. Half in love with death, that means he has contemplated about death and he has thought about death because he wanted to be released from the burdens of existence, and death would do that. And called him soft names in many a mused rhyme, to take into the air my quiet breath. So, more than ever before, he now feels a desire to die, because it seems like as if his cup is full, not with joy but with sorrow. And there is a pessimistic note here. Of course, life has its ups and downs. There are joys, sorrows, grief. And we saw in Keats's previous stanza, especially in the third stanza, where we saw how beauty, love, youth are short lived. But nature has had the power to make Keats forget his sorrows temporarily. Now, death, he realizes, is a way that would free him from all the worldly cares. He's half in love with death, calling it soft names. Uh, it seems over here that there is some kind of a connection, a kind of a relationship or a love story going on between him and death. Whispers means he composes or he writes verses about death. So, whispers uh, and calls him names in many a mused rhyme. Mused rhymes means he composes verses, he composes poetry about death, which means that death has been on his mind. He's kind of obsessed with death. And in the fourth line, he says, to take him into the air, my quiet breath. And he wants death to quietly take him away from this world. In the next line, he says that now more than ever seems it rich to die, to seize upon the midnight with no pain. Now, many people in this world suffer and die traumatic, painful deaths in hospitals, etc. But for Keats to die whilst in the world of the nightingale would be a rich death. For Keats, it would be an enriching experience, it would be blissful. Why it would be rich or blissful was because he would be surrounded by the flora, the flowers, fruits, fragrances, and the song of the nightingale would be an ecstasy. That is, his desire would be to leave the world embalmed by the fragrances of nature with the song of the nightingale as his dirge. Dirge. Dirge means the funeral song. That is, it is his desire that when he dies, he would want to listen to the song of the nightingale when he takes his last breath on this earth. To seize upon the midnight with no pain. That is, there is a particular time that he wants to die, and that time is midnight. And there is a desire for in him to die a painless death, to seize upon midnight with no pain. That he desires to die at the time of midnight and to die a painless death, because he has in his life seen enough pain, both physical as well as emotional. So, in the next line, he says, while thou art pouring forth thy soul abroad in such an ecstasy. So, at midnight, he would want to die a painless death. And what is his desire? His desire would be to listen to the pure ecstasy that the nightingale pours out, the melody that the nightingale pours forth when he takes his last breath. Still wouldst thou sing. Still means that even after the death of the poet, the bird would continue to sing. Of course, it would be unaffected by death and suffering of the human world. The bird would continue to sing, and I have ears in vain. Ears in vain means that sadly Keats would no longer be able to hear, because he would not be alive. He would be deaf to that song of the nightingale. But he says in the last line, to thy high requiem become a sword. High requiem. Requiem is a church service where specific music is played for the funeral service. And he would prefer this specific music to be the song of the nightingale when he turns into a sword. Sword is a grassy piece of soil. In other words, this brings in the biblical truth that from dust you were created and to dust you return. So, in the sixth stanza, we see there are references not only to nature, but there is a lot of focus on mortality and death.